G'day guys, today we have the Walkera Vitus Starlight, which is a new quadcopter. It's a night vision drone that can also shoot during the daytime. I've had the privilege of having this before anyone else and really testing it out in many different scenarios. So let's dive into the features right now that you're going to expect to see in this new quadcopter. So let's start off with the camera. The camera shoots at 1080p at 30 frames per second. So obviously we haven't got the high frame rates there, but for what this is in low light, it is absolutely unreal, this camera. So this drone also has VPS, which is optical flow on the bottom here. So it's extremely stable, even when you haven't got GPS, which is a really nice feature. We've got 3 directional infrared sense avoidance here, one on the side, one at the front, one on the other side. So that with the VPS, you've got really nice, stable, low proximity flying. You can avoid obstacles, especially at night. You know, it's nice to have that feature there. Another thing I like about this quadcopter is that it's foldable. These arms, everything, the legs here, everything collapses and the arms just fold in just like that, and that folds in. So it's extremely compact, really lightweight. This thing only weighs 920 grams and that's with the battery. So that's just over 2 pounds. And you're gonna get long flight times with this, up to 25 minutes, which is really, really long. Every time I went out flying with this, I felt like I was up for longer than 25 minutes. The battery life was really, really long, so I was really impressed with that. So that's nice to have. Moving on to the controller. The controller's nice, easy to use. The app, extremely user-friendly. That's another thing that impressed me with this drone, was it bound really quick. Fold it out, turn the remote on, turn the drone on, sync the Wi-Fi. In less than 2 minutes, I was airborne and I had 13 satellites. So that was another thing that impressed me with this Walkera Vitus Starlight. Very quick to get to the air. I know with other drones out there that I've worked with in the past, the binding times have just taken way too long. So Walkera have really nailed it here with the binding time, getting up in the air really quickly. So moving on to the controller is we've got full manual mode at the flick of a button down here, which is really close and easy to get to. So as a pilot, if you're in an area that's lots of interference, flick it into manual mode, stay on the sticks, and you're not gonna worry about any GPS or interference there. So manual mode is really, really nice there. You've got auto mode, which is GPS mode, which is in the middle there. And then you've got a sport mode, which is really, really nice to have. I flicked it into sport mode out here. So if you wanna have a bit of fun or you need to get out to somewhere really, really fast in an emergency, flick it into sport mode and it just doubles the speed and it really, really gets out there. So having 3 different flight modes at the flick of a button here is really, really nice to have. We've got our record video up here and capture image buttons. Again, really easy to get to. So that's really, really nice. And here we have a retractable smart device holder. So fits any regular phone, or it's got an adapter here for your bigger tablet. I like to have the bigger tablet because I like to see what I'm doing. The app is really easy to use, very intuitive. Everything is where you want it to be, not too cluttered. Very, very nice user-friendly interface, which is nice as a drone pilot. And on the left here, we've got the gimbal control for the camera, which is really easy under there. And then on the right, we've got the ISO control, which is nice. You can adjust that at the flick of a button there as the day and the light changes. And the video feed on this, it does work through Wi-Fi, so you are limited on range. We had no problems 300-400 meters away. We didn't go further than that because we would have been beyond line of sight, which is illegal. So we never lost video feed. And on that note, it streams in 720p or 1080p HD. We kept it 720, which was really nice and clean, and that's all we needed for viewing. So really solid video transmission there. This night vision drone is really going to be aimed towards, you know, emergency services, search and rescue, lots of different applications, training, research. One of those scenarios that we set up, which I'll overlay the footage to right now, was we set up a car crash scenario. So if we were first responders, police, emergency services coming to a scene, we see a car crash, there could be a fatality. You throw the drone up and you can get that aerial perspective of the car crash. It gives you that whole new perspective that you just can't get on the ground of what car came from where, who created the accident. Another scenario that we did, we set up some hikers and we put them out, pretended that they got lost out hiking, got dark. I couldn't see anything as a pilot, threw the drone up and the screen was absolutely bright. So the Vitus could see absolutely everything. And then you'll see on the screen now, you see the 2 guys that are pretending to be lost. They're waving their phone. and the Vitus picked it up. I could not see that with the naked eye. So that was another scenario that was really, really impressive in low light. So the third scenario that we set up out in location was, I was a drone pilot that was acting as a security guard. So I was monitoring a perimeter of a fence, and I had my friend there, Kevin, who was pretending to be a thief. As you can see in the footage here, he's trying to break in through the fence, and it was absolutely pitch black. You can see he's got the torchlight there, as a thief usually would. They have a little flashlight. He's trying to break into this fence, and on my monitor was just super bright. I could see in pretty much zero light, which was so impressive. And again, that's what this thing is great for. Unbelievable in low light. I was just really, really impressed. You can see Kevin flashes the light. The drone startled him. So this is really, really great for training security guards. This is a new weapon that can be used for surveillance, also can be used for military use, training, or they're doing an actual real life terrorist scenario. You could send this drone up before sending a human in, get some night vision, see what's going on. So this deploys really quick, and you know, this can save lives and also protect from break-ins like you just saw in that scenario. So another scene that we set up using the Vitus Starlight was, we had a professional skateboarder down at the skate park at sunset. It was dropping really, really fast. We were losing light, picking up clean shots. I had it in auto mode, so it just adjusted as the light adjusted. What was really cool though was that there was this other guy flying a DJI Mavic, and as the sun went down, he was still flying, and then he just couldn't see on his screen, and wasn't working for him. He saw us flying, came over and could see our screen completely illuminated, and the drone was just picking up everything, as you'll see in the footage right now. And he was blown away. He's like, "What drone is that?" And I'm like, "Oh, it's a new night vision drone from Walkera, and we're doing some testing and reviewing it." So to see him land his Mavic and be blown away by this night vision camera was really, really cool. So we wanted to test this out in daylight to see how it stacked up, and we shot Hugo mountain biking in the Santa Monica Mountains at sunrise. We hiked in, and we picked up some really cool shots. I've seen the footage, and I'll throw them up now for you to look at. So it does all right. It does all right in daylight. You're gonna get shots. It's gonna be usable for social media, but it's not cinematic stuff. You're not gonna go out and use it for TV. It's gonna be more for, you know, uploads to social media, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, that kind of stuff. So, but to be able to get a night vision drone that's designed for the night and still pick up some daylight shots, that's really, really impressive. You know, you're not gonna get that from, you know, a FLIR camera, for instance. And on that note, a FLIR camera is around $10,000 to $15,000. Then you gotta have a drone, so there's another $4,000 or $5,000. So to get into those high-end, expensive thermal imaging cameras, you're looking at $20,000 to $25,000, which is a lot of money with all the bells and whistles. This is under $1,600. It's $1,459 US, and you get the controller, you get the drone, you get 2 batteries. I believe there's another one that comes for just around $1,600 with a bag, a carry case, and you get the extra battery, so that's 3 batteries. But to get this low light system for under $2,000, to be able to get all these different commercial style application shots that we've shown you in this video, search and rescue, finding potentially lost people, the security monitoring a patrol, we had the car accident monitoring, you know, a car crash after the fact, seeing who did the car accident from what angle, being able to get up to a new perspective with this in low light and get usable footage and shots was really, really powerful. So this is going to be ideal for emergency services, first responders, law enforcement, the army, military, anyone that's wanting to get into that commercial application and doesn't quite have the budget of $15,000 to $20,000. You can buy a couple of these, and it's going to do the job for you in low light at a cheap price. So I've been genuinely blown away by this, and you know, the footage that it gets in low light, really, really impressive. So Walkera have done an amazing job on this. They've been around for a long time. I'm really excited to use this more down at San Diego State University, where I'm doing some work and training down there. So we're going to put a link down below to the Walkera Vitus Starlight. You can check some more of the specs out there for yourselves to see what you're going to get for the price point. But we're really impressed, blown away at this thing in low light in all those different scenarios that we've shown you in this video. We'll put a lot of work into this video, guys, so be sure to give it a like, give us a comment, and subscribe to Drone Gear. We'll see you guys on the next one.